How I replaced my corporate income within 12 months, an inside sneak peek. Hi, it's Tricia. I'm excited about sharing this sneak peek with you because even though it looked like I had a successful career, I was so overloaded, stressed. I felt like I had absolutely no life, and I felt like I was the mouse, the hamster on the wheel going around and around, and I'm just like, oh, I just can't keep doing this anymore. I had to get out of there. So I know what it's like to be working 60 to 80 hours a week and just feeling like you've got no time, no energy, and just being overloaded. So I'm happy now that I work for myself. I got out of the rat race. I work for myself. I work part-time from home. It's completely flexible. I've replaced my income as well, so that's pretty exciting. In this video, I'm going to share how I did it, the steps I took. I will share the 5 steps I took to replace my income and leave my job forever. Step number 1, get clear on exactly what you want. And this can also include what you don't want. So I suggest you start writing a list. On one side, what you want, on one side, what you don't want. So what I found is that it's like I was living somebody else's life for all of those years. I'd always wanted to work for myself, but I didn't know how. So of course, we need money to survive. So I went into a job, and of course I stayed in that job because I needed money, to pay the bills and eat the food and things like that. So it means that a lot of the time it's like we're living someone else's life. We don't start thinking of ourselves again. Like, we're just not used to thinking of ourselves and what we want. The dreams we had at childhood, we've most probably pushed aside because it's like, how on earth is that going to happen, So start thinking of yourself again. Start thinking of, if I had a choice, what do I really want in my life? So the reason I'm saying to do what you don't want is because sometimes you might start with that. You might not be used to thinking of what you want. So you can start with what you don't want. So, it might be, well, I don't want to work full time. I don't want to have a boss. I don't want to be managing a team. I don't want to be commuting, whatever it might be. Just write the list of what you don't want, and then you can also work on what you want. So for me, I knew I didn't want multi-level marketing. So I've been there, done that, followed the system exactly, did what they said, was caught up in all of it, and this is a while ago, but it just didn't get the results that I was told it would. And so, so I knew I didn't want that. I didn't want to be commuting. I didn't want to be reporting to someone else. So yes, so do you don't want. And then as far as what you want, so I knew I wanted to be earning the same amount of money or more than what I was earning in my corporate income. I knew I wanted to work from home. I knew I wanted to be flexible. I wanted to stay as a full-time mum. I knew I wanted it to be something that's meaningful. So for most of my corporate career, I felt like I was making no difference in anyone's life. I'd be thinking to myself, what am I doing here? I don't feel like this product is contributing to anyone's life or making anyone's life better. So I really wanted to be something that I feel that I'm helping, that I'm contributing and making a difference in people's lives. I obviously wanted to be self-employment, so that was easy, but I really got clear, really clear. And I wrote a wish list. So it wasn't just a few things. I was just like, right, if everything is possible, I'm writing all of it down. So with my list, you might look at it and go, wow, that's a bit extravagant. That's a bit crazy. But I seriously wrote down everything, just no limitations, no barriers, none of that. Just I wrote down, what? If I chose my life every day, this is how I want it to look. This is how I want it to be. So start writing, start dreaming, and just add to it as time goes on as well. I also knew that I wanted to be finding a business model that I can follow. So as an example, if I was to buy a McDonald's franchise, not that I have the millions of dollars for that, but if I was to buy a McDonald's franchise, I knew there was a system to follow, and I was willing to follow the system and learn the system and to, break through any any barriers and things I had, and on all the learning and everything. So I really wanted a system, a business model to follow, but obviously one that works, because based on my past experience with MLM, I'm just like, oh my goodness, I need to find a business model that works, that's actually going to take me to my dreams. I knew what my goals were. So I'm like, it needs to take me to those dreams, but it also cannot take over my life. I want the balance. Finding a business model that works, finding something that has the ROI, return on investment figures that I wanted. And another thing that was important to me is I wanted to be able to talk to somebody, to actually be able to ask somebody questions along the way, to have that support structure in place. Step number 2, be open to opportunity. Like absolutely and totally open your mind to opportunity. Because if you want something different to how your life has already been, you've obviously got to do something different. You've got to get out of your comfort zone. When I was looking, I'd been out of work for, most probably 10 years. So I was out of touch with technology, out of touch with how things were in business. I didn't even know what an online business was. I was just like, how can people be earning money from home? I used to work 80 hours a week to earn that sort of money and have all the stress and all the hours. Like, I just didn't get it. But I just knew that in order to find what I wanted, I had to be open. I had to be open to opportunity, just like letting it go and just being open, like physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, just being open. Okay, I'm ready for opportunity. I'm ready for opportunity. I'm open. I'm not going to assume things. I'm not going to shut down things. I'm not going to prejudge things. I'm open to opportunity, and I want opportunity in my life. So it was really making a conscious decision. I'm open. I'm open for opportunity. Bring it in. So I knew I needed to look outside the box. I knew I needed to get creative. I knew I had to think about other ways and find other ways, because I just definitely did not want my life to be the same. I had to break out of that. So being open was a big part of that. Step 3, intentionally look for opportunities and solutions. You need to take action. You need to look for them. Don't expect them to just land in your lap. Again, you need to take different action to what you have in the past. So for me, I started researching, on the internet. I started responding to advertisements to check things out, go on to webinars, register for webinars to check things out. I asked people in business, people who I knew had businesses, how their business ran and how they became successful, what systems they have in place to consider, do I want to do a business like that? I started taking actions that I didn't usually take, and I was just willing to look at anything. Basically, I'm like, look, I need to educate myself. I need to find out what's happening out there, and I really want to find an opportunity that suits me. So if I need to look through lots until I find it, that's fine, but I know what I want. So I'm going to keep looking until I find something that, ticks those boxes. I went on to lots of webinars, and seriously, pretty much all of them except one, they were just smoke and mirrors. It was just people saying, oh, I've got this amazing life. But, they didn't tell me how they did it. They didn't tell me the nuts and bolts of the business, and I wanted to know, look, what exactly do you do to make this money? Show me some figures, show me the business model, show me all of that information. But they didn't show that, or if they did, it was a snippet. So there were lots of gaps in the information. I didn't feel I could trust the person. I didn't have anyone to contact to ask questions. So, I looked at a lot of things that were not suitable. However, that also helped me to work out, again, more about what I'm looking for and what I won't do. For me, trusting someone is really important, trusting the company, trusting the people, trusting the business model. I mean, if I'm going to put my time and effort into something and my money into something, it's got to be worthwhile. Seriously, it's got to be worthwhile. I'm not going to go and put money and time into something for a small return or just for frustration. I took the action to keep looking, keep researching, keep delving, keep asking questions to find a solution that's suitable for me. Number 4, I checked out the people and the company to make sure they were real, to make sure they were legit. So I kept asking questions, I kept looking at information, I asked more questions. As I said, I was really looking for something where I could talk to an actual person. So, you can tell when you're talking to somebody, are they telling you stuff like just all the dazzle? Is it, just sounding great and looking great and all of that, or is it real? Does it have substance? I looked at testimonials. One thing I recommend is, make sure you're looking at something like Trustpilot or FIFO, because they are reviews of real customers, real people. It's not the thing that catfish marketers do. That's for another day, that topic though. But I just really, really needed to know, is this legit? Do you have a good feeling about it? I know you might still have fears and things like that, but when I looked at the business model I chose, I'm like, oh, this looks good. I like this. And I could see that it worked. I'm like, oh, I can see. I was really skeptical. So, I just kept asking questions and questions and questions. And even when I got started, I was still like, oh, I've got another video on, the fears and doubts that we have when starting a business. But I was skeptical. It's normal to be skeptical. Of course, we're going to be skeptical. I mean, we're here wanting to change our life. We're here wanting to turn our life around. So that takes new action. That takes new perspective. That takes a new way of being. I just kept asking questions and gathering information to help, reduce that skepticism and be more educated and aware. Before I go into the fifth point of how I replaced my corporate income within 12 months, left my job, please hit the subscribe button. I have a lot of content that you might want to listen to. So I really want to help you with things like how to choose a legitimate business, how to leave your job, how to set up time and money freedom for yourself and have that, dream lifestyle that you love. So hit the subscribe button, please. Number 5, get started and follow the system. So if you're choosing something where there is a system to follow, obviously you want to make sure that system does work. Make sure you have done your due diligence on that, but then follow the system. If I'm buying McDonald's franchise and I'm, putting my time and money into that, I need to follow the system. I can't shortcut it. If you shortcut the system, it means you're going to not get the results that you're looking for, or the results that you've seen or that they've told you are possible. So you need to follow the system. You need to learn. You need to be willing to learn. You need to be open. You need to be willing to overcome obstacles. Get started though. That's the main thing here. It's no point looking and thinking about it. Nothing changes if nothing changes. So if you're not going to take action on any of it, it means nothing's going to change. So do what you need to do to take that step and take that action. In the end, it was pretty easy for me to choose the business that I do because I'd looked at so many webinars and there was only one. It wasn't a webinar. I actually needed to apply and have an interview to look at the business itself. But it was actually a real figures, real overview, real information, not a glossy, salesy thing. It was easy for me to choose what I was going to do. It ticked my boxes. I was excited about it. So, you want to be doing something that you love, that you enjoy, that brings you great satisfaction. As I said, in my corporate life, I never felt that. I was chasing the money, chasing success, but I really wanted to have that fulfillment and joy of what I'm doing and, who I'm being and the impact I'm having in other people's lives. I've got a free gift for you. When you go to brilliantunstoppableyou.com, there's a free guide on the 5 steps to entrepreneurial freedom. It will take you through the 5 foundational steps that I found important when I wanted to up-level my life and transform it. Whether it's money, well-being, travel, lifestyle, being your own boss, these steps will help you to catapult forward. I spent a lot of time putting it together and like I said, it's free. My mission, my passion is to help people thrive, to thrive in all areas of your life. So go to brilliantunstoppableyou.com and get the free guide. I'll also put the link in the description and in the first comment. I'll see you there.